SOLID is an acronym for 5 principles of object-oriented programming that help make code understandable, flexible, and maintainable. And since C# is object-oriented, it makes a lot of sense to use SOLID, which stands for Single Responsibility Principle, Open-Closed Principle, Lisp Substitution Principle, Interface Segregation Principle, and Dependency Inversion Principle. These principles were promoted by Robert Martin, known as Uncle Bob, originally in his 2000 paper Design Principles and Design Patterns. The SOLID acronym was coined a few years later. Let me show you what each one of these are for, starting with the Single Responsibility Principle, which states that every class or module has one responsibility or one specific functionality. If your class has many responsibilities, maybe it is time to split it in smaller ones. To do this, always, when you're coding, ask yourself, what is the responsibility of the class that you're working on? If there is an AND, then it is required to break it up. For example, in a product class, if it's called product and warranty, maybe you need to break up the class because it's representing two things. It has two responsibilities. Aside from classes, the single responsibility principle applies to components and microservices. Let me show you with a demo. Take a look at this class right here, Circle. As you can see, it has a couple of functions that are used to make some calculations, like to get the area and the circumference of the circle. But if you look a little bit below, there's another one, plot circle on canvas. Doing something on a canvas is basically another responsibility. It's basically something that's not directly related to the circle. It is more related to the canvas. In essence, this does not belong here. It's a different responsibility. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a new class which is going to contain the functionality that I can use then to plot on a canvas. And this is the name that I'm going to use, plot on canvas. The class has been created. So I go back to my original circle class and cut this function. I then go to the new class and paste the function. I'll just modify the name slightly because I know that every function that I call here is going to be plotting on a canvas. And then if I wanted to plot a square, I would create a different function. And now I can start creating new functions to plot other classes. And that's how it goes. The circle class is used for all the functionality that's specific to the circle, and this other class for everything related to plotting.